Yeah, Ellen, it is almost Friday. What are the big plans this weekend? We get a time change, I believe, this weekend. Anybody check in? Anybody know for certain? But I seem to think it's Saturday, the first, or AKA it's actually the second at like 2 in the morning or something. But Jim, my banker at Wells Fargo, told me that Wells Fargo does not sell dinar or dong in reference to comment yesterday or Tuesday. Jim, they used to sell it openly, freely. Many folks in here bought it. Me personally, I have bought Vietnamese dong from them in the past when I banked with them in the past. And then they stopped carrying it. So when you hear them talking about, hey, but I bought it here, they did buy it there. It just has been some time since they sold it. Heck, they used to sell Iraqi dinar as well. Yep, fall back. Daylight saving November 2nd. Set your clocks. It gets really funky for me because it changed because our clocks don't change. So just be prepared next week if the time on the podcast shows is off because I have to go in manually and change it. I got to publish the room every time. I got to change it. And every year when it happens, about 500 people in chat tell me about it. And I'm like, stay calm. It'll happen that way pretty much all winter, where I'll have to set up the room, change the time. Just your heads up. It'll maybe save the spam for next week. Yeah, Thomas, they keep talking about stopping the whole daylight savings. Well, I mean, keeping daylight savings, period. In other words, doing away with standard time. Rainbow, several calls to Wells, and you had to be a customer, but yeah, they sold. Yeah, they sold. I bought it. Many of you folks have bought it. There are literally thousands of people that bought it from them. Tens of thousands, I would argue, over the years. A temple. Yeah, yes, I change my time so you guys don't have to change your time on the podcast. Although I did give a lot of thought about stop doing two shows and go to one show, like one longer show, like 2 or 3 hours and start at like noon. I thought about that many times. I was like, I can make that work in my schedule. But I think many of you folks are set on the time and the schedule. Grumpy, enjoy. It is good stuff. Fantastic coffee. I'm drinking Freedom Forge this morning as well. Mark, rooting for Mr. C's doorbell to be ringing at some point today. Me too. Tom, I couldn't commit to 2 to 3 hours. Hey, you can pop in, pop out. Play it in the car while you're driving down the road. Ellen, do I think tonight might be our Thursday? I think it's a high possibility. I've not heard anything definitive, but there's certainly a lot coming together all at the same time and lots of bond expectations for today. We don't have updates yet, but there are some huge expectations for the day. Presently from 3 of my bond camp folks, all different individuals, different deals. Blue eyed, how confident that I am that the rates in the HCL. I think the HCL is, well, how do I put this one? I think the rate follows immediately on the heels of the HCL and with the budget. That's where I think you'll see it. I don't think they put it. Well, it's possible they do because it's got to do with profit sharing. I got to think on that one, blue eyed. I got to work through the logic of it to make certain because we were expecting I was always told we would have the HCL and then with hours to a few days we would have the rate. But I think it is probably possible as I'm thinking. I need to think it through to see if I can find any fallacies in my thought. Yeah, Tim, they keep talking about it. They still haven't passed a bill. So until they pass a bill, you guys keep changing your time. New Mexico hiker. We have to group together to keep ourselves sane. You remember that time, guys? For like a couple years, the whole world thought we were crazy. Yeah, it was like masks and shutdowns and really, really bad follow the science suggestions because it had nothing to do with science and everything to do with money. Or should I say, extremely little to do with science, to the point where they ignored the science if it followed the money. I mean, you remember that where how many of you guys would have survived that sane if communities like this hadn't formed? Because they were busy gaslighting you. I mean, like actively, knowingly gaslighting, like psyoping you. Everybody seems to be just, oh, okay, yeah, you remember that time? Yeah, no worries. And they keep going on with the same organizations and things that did that to them. I think I would be a little upset. Let's see. Mark, in case you missed it, CBI signed electronic payment system. Turkey, Iraq signed their agreement. Water, oil shares. Yeah, I thought about including a couple articles on that one. We did have a cool article with Greece opening up international flights directly. So that'll be the first European country flying in regular direct routes in and out of Iraq. Mr. C, let's see. Did he check in this morning? He usually checks in every morning, lets me know whether they've come to see him or not. Let's take a quick look. Yep, he checked in this morning at about 8:03 a.m. He has not been paid yet. I keep forgetting we don't have him tomorrow. What the heck am I going to do? Life in life in Arizona. Mark, question about QFS. And this is all going to be based on my understanding of life in Arizona. When we go exchange at a tier one bank, does our currency get deposited into the QFS or does it end up in a bank account? As I understand it, as Mr. C explained, as many have explained it, all accounts after this reset become QFS. So if you have a bank account, it's a QFS account. That's how it's been explained to me, that it's a whole new banking system, that the old accounts don't exist anymore. Anything you have in your accounts get upgraded to a QFS. That's how it's been explained to me. It is simply a new term for a new or improved banking system. See, need of AK. The city told us we were required to wear masks, post signage that were mandatory. Small town businesses bonded together, closed our businesses, and stayed home. The town removed the mandates. Good. That's what you got to do when people are being insane. Don't participate. Deborah, I would. I don't know if it's going to be good, not good, depending on what it is and years and so many other things. But Deborah just said, my father was overseas in the army, brought back foreign currency. Do I need to take that to my exchange meeting? I would. Can't hurt. If they look at you and say, this is only worth this or that's only worth that, then just make the decision. Is it emotionally worth more to you because your dad brought it home and save it? Or is it worth a lot of money? Oh boy, sending prayers. Glow mom, my 18-year-old daughter's taking her driver's test for a driver's license as we speak. Prayer all goes well. You got this thing. Isn't it crazy though? Like 18, like today's generation just are not as concerned about getting their license. I think it was my nephew was like 19 before he got his or something. And many of them just aren't caught up in that like you and I were back in the day. I mean, within days of being 16, my entire generation had a driver's license. Like entire generation. Cheryl, I appreciate that one. Oh, yeah. I should probably have said Blue Eyed Mag on the scale of 1 to 10. How confident are you that the rate's in the HCL? I should probably just say I'm on a 10 for confidence that it is within days of the HCL. On FM, same here, Mark, but we're likely around the same age. Yeah, I'm 58. 58? Heck, how old am I? I don't want to get any older. Well, yeah, I do want to get older. It beats the alternative. Well, I don't know. Maybe not beat the alternative, but I have a lot more to do on this planet. MT Bodie, right, Mark? My nieces could not care less about getting their driver's licenses. I don't understand. I mean, well, think about it, MT. They don't have to pay for the gas. We drive them everywhere. Have you thought about just how spoiled this country is? I mean, absolutely spoiled. I mean, our unemployed, uneducated, whatever, our poor people are walking around with, $1,000 cell phones, eating good food. Many struggle. Don't get me wrong. There's many struggling, and there's so many out there that do absolutely nothing, have no drive, and living a good life. And that's our poor people. Really sucks for those that are truly suffering to turn around and look at that. We have it too good. Yeah, like the step network, Mark, we got our license 16 because cars were so much cooler. Cars were cooler back then, step network. Much cooler. Let's see, the Michael Monteclair, Maryland, 600 scam by the system. $600. That's nuts. And Uber wasn't around. We didn't have choices like that. That's a good point. 100 to 1. It's good to see you in here. I rode my bike everywhere. Yeah, we did. I love Laptop Life. Thank you for this update. Said thanks to the community. They have raised $2,170 so far. Let's help get them over 3 with the silent auction, guys. There's so much more in items on that one. We can double that number, I think. Sydney's 32nd. Corey, plus the driver logs that keep them providing in order to get the appointment. I have to admit, Corey, I wasn't completely honest on the kids' driver's logs. Like Riley, especially. Most of them drove way more than on the log, but like keeping up with it, it's kind of stupid. I get the reason, I do. But if you're driving way more than that, if you're taking it seriously as a parent, that whole driver's log is kind of stupid, like hall monitor stuff. If you're responsible as a parent, you should squeeze them behind that driver's wheel as much as you can and get as much practice as you can. And you shouldn't need to have to keep a log. That's about but stupid. But we're in a generation, we're in a society that is pretty much but stupid. Of course, I also don't think we should have to have driver's licenses, except for commercial. I'm a bit libertarian on that front. Oh, wow. Sunshine. I didn't even have driver's ed. When did they I never even thought about that because we had driver's ed. At what point did that become a thing? Kind of curious. It's fast news time. We got carried away talking. Let's get into it. Let's start talking about the news. Again, as I mentioned earlier, for anybody that was here early, I do not have a bond update yet. I have great expectations, expecting bare minimum of 3 updates at some point throughout the day, as I have a number of folks expecting money. And I am very hopeful because it is an overwhelming number of contacts. I even see many folks have sent me clips and posts and things and screenshots from boards with similar information. So it appears many bondholders are expecting something big to break today. Cross your fingers, say your prayers. If it does, that means we're getting close and we should be there soon. But I do not have an update yet today. So we're going to head off into Iraq. MarkZ in 5 Baghdadi words, a big agreement between Washington and Mosul. A big research center, international research center in Mosul, partnering with the U.S. We do know that there have been some high-level delegations back and forth and behind door closed meetings that started yesterday. We are starting to see some public parts of it. Is there anything else that we are not seeing yet, like possibly a rate discussion? General Bank precautionary foreign reserves. I love highlighting these, which is going to be important because I have somebody wrote typical shows up every so often. The doubters talking about how crazy we are, and we're going to start just dealing with some of these heads on. I have in the past. Many of you folks are new, so you've never heard me when I'm talking about these. We're just going to lay out the logic, lay out the process, and have a good time with their article. But we're going to back here into some fundamentals first. In line with the central bank strategy principles of disclosure and transparency in its domestic and international banking transactions. All right, we really don't need all this. Let's focus on the amount of currency in circulation, which they continue to shrink. It's now under 100 trillion. I believe they have shrunk it somewhere in here. 98.4 trillion dinar, which is a massive. They have cut about half of their currency since they began this process over the last decade or two from circulation. Pulled off the streets, destroyed, doesn't have it. This is an important thing to note. We get inflation in the US because we print money without adding goods, causes inflation. If you start removing it, anybody following the logic, your currency should be increasing in value. So if you cut half your currency out of its circulation, what should happen? If you don't have a pegged currency, the market would correct. It would float and correct itself. It would become twice as valuable. It is common economic sense, Austrian economics. It has been around since the beginning of recorded time in economics. So this is Iraq doing all those structural things they need to do to support their value. During that time, they've discovered far more assets. They have purchased far more assets, and they have purchased far more gold backing, etc., to back their currencies. This is important before we dive into the next one. I'm going to get rid of this because we're going to be looking at the screen a lot, and it's distracting for me. For years, speculators in the Iraqi dinar have clung to the dream of an imminent revaluation, or RV, that would dramatically increase currency's value overnight, transforming modest investments into massive windfalls. With each Iraqi election cycle, familiar refrain emerges in dinar speculation communities. Could this political event finally trigger the long-awaited? Now they're going to talk about it being a fantasy, which I have. This is fun, guys. Bear with us. Listen. Keep an open mind. Concept of a dinar revaluation rests on a fundamental misunderstanding, according to this anonymous blogger, of how, I wonder who writes these anonymous blogs, currencies and economies work. Proponents believe Iraq will suddenly revalue its currency at rates that would make it one of the world's most valuable, sometimes claiming it will reach or exceed the value of the US dollar. These expectations are not grounded in economic reality. Really, they're not? Boy, there are a lot of examples in modern times to say that it is very possible, but I guess we'll just ignore history for a minute, just for this author. Iraq's economy, while resource-rich, faces significant challenges. Ongoing political instability, absolutely true. They have had some serious political instability that has very much calmed itself and corrected itself last couple of years. Infrastructure damage from decades conflict, yeah. And now we've got the development road, new ports, new bridges. So it looks like these first two are useless points, or moot points, we should call them. Heavy dependence on oil revenue, yeah. You know, I know another country, Kuwait, that has heavy dependence on oil revenue. Saudi Arabia, Jordan. Oh, wait. Let me think. United States, Canada, Russia. But their currencies are still worth way more. So, you know, that point, while I understand the point they're attempting to make, just doesn't stand up to the light of day when you stop and think about it. High unemployment and inflation. Ooh, they have a lower inflation rate than just about any economy in their area, and lower than the United States and lower than Europe. All right, so we can kick that out, and their unemployment rate has dropped drastically over the last year or two. Corruption and governance issues. Yeah, boy, have you seen the way they've been cleaning up their government? Have you seen all the arrests? Have you seen them reclaiming billions and billions and billions of dollars and dinar from corrupt politicians? Lawsuits around the countries they gained. See, looks like all of these have become moot, or mostly moot, I should say. Now, why elections don't trigger currency miracles? One, I don't think the election triggers one. Never have. Never said they did. But for some reason, this person clumps all gurus into or all people talking about it in the same pile, which is, well, another fallacy of logic. We are not all alike. But does bring up some good points. A lot of people don't bring you any fundamentals. They just talk about these, I don't know. They don't bring any fundamentals. Pay attention to the articles we share. Pay attention to the fundamentals. It is important. Let's see. The real winners. Yeah, the hopeful investors. The biggest ones are the currency dealers. They make stupid money. I agree with that one. The pattern of false promises. Yeah, we've heard that constantly. Knew something, this, blah, 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 and then we don't see it. And that's why I say do not peg it on a certain thing like that. You'll just about always be disappointed. What's going to happen July 4th? It's going to be Christmas in July, things like that. Focus on the fundamentals instead. Now, some of these are valid. Some of these are about stupid. Understanding you've likely already lost money through dealer markups. Yes, many, if you just purchased and paid a big markup, are behind the 8 ball right now. Just like you would be if you went and bought an ounce of gold, had to pay the spread. Now it's only worth the spot. We get that. We buy certain things because we believe they will appreciate. Recognized dollar may appreciate modestly over the years like any currency, but will not suddenly skyrocket in value. Suddenly? How many of you guys just bought your currency like a day ago? That would be suddenly. For most of us, it's been a 20-year process that we have followed. This is not suddenly. They have made structural changes. They've increased their assets, cleaned up their banking system, worked on their infrastructure, acquired gold, backing, etc. This is not a get rich quick overnight. Many of the detractors tell you not to believe it because it's a get rich quick overnight. I don't know about you guys, but this has not been a quick process. So the logic in here is just MIA. Now we can just, the insider not getting a kick out of some of these. If you tear apart the logic, it only takes a third grader to figure out that the trolls, or the detractors, I should say, not necessarily, maybe well-intentioned people, but they need to do more research. Kuwait's revaluation, China's revaluation, Japan's revaluation after World War II. I mean, we can go on and on. Germany's revaluation, the revaluation of the sterling pound. I mean, there are so many examples of sudden and what appear to be sudden and massive shifts. They're not sudden. They have taken years and years before they reflect and the mechanics are fixed. That's why I say focus on the fundamentals so you can watch the mechanics. Just thought I would share all of those. I think my brothers wrote that. I just stop and think. Nothing in this has been sudden. Nothing. It has been structural over time. Like 99% of economic changes around the world have been sudden and over time. The results may seem to come out of the blue, but the behind the scenes work to make it possible has been ongoing, hard fought. So when I read those, I'm like, geez, Louise, stop, think, apply some logic. From just an outside view, all I want to do is ask somebody on the internet. Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the internet. But you get what I'm saying. In other words, do your research. It is so easy. So easy to let a detractor take. For every one article like this, there are 10,000 articles that are like these, talking about the central bank, talking about what they've done, talking about the infrastructure deals, talking about things like first European country to open direct air, the reemergence of a country. For every one article doubting it, there's 10,000 articles showing you why structurally they're making the changes that they need to make. So you got to ask yourself, is that it's kind of like restaurants. There can be one bad review. Somebody can be just have a bad day or pissed off, and then it creates the image that you never want to go to that restaurant when it's just horribly inaccurate. This one person had a bad day and decided to take it out, or maybe it wasn't even true. Maybe it was a competitor down the street and they had one of their employees, or they themselves wrote it trying to pretend to be somebody else because they wanted to sway your thoughts. Same idea. It would be so easy if I wanted you guys not to. I could start publishing articles like this with these really cool terms. Hey, this is never going to happen, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to talk about fundamentals. I'm just going to throw out some generalities that you might buy so I can cast those seeds of doubt instead of doing the hard work of researching the fundamentals. So just keep that in mind when you read those. Don't immediately start running to jump off a cliff. Some bank teller that went to community college, never studied economics, and I'm not beating anybody who went to community college. I went to community college as well. What I'm saying is that didn't actually study economics, they don't whatever. They know nothing. They don't even know the difference between fiat and asset-backed. They don't know what hypothecation means. They don't know what fractional money. They don't know any of these things, but they work at a bank because they give them a system, do this, push that button, etc. And then they're telling you how crazy you are when they know nothing about the subject. And now people suddenly believe it and they're going looking for a cliff to drop off, saying, oh my God, I can't believe that you guys are talking about this. You've led me down a path and now life's never going to be the same. Think for yourself. Do your research. All right, I wanted to do that. Looking forward to that one. We do have Ron the Inventor that will be joining us. You know, I do not believe fiat is an acronym. I believe it is simply its word. I'm positive of that. Signatures as soon as next week. U.S.-China deal close. Percent unveils major victory for American farmers. Some folks in the news cycle think that this was not really a huge deal. I think it is a very big deal that they have worked out. Massive amounts of soybeans, farmer, etc. China agreeing to make all efforts to cut at least 50% of fentanyl precursors shipping out of the country. Some legitimate uses are for it, so they have agreed to greatly crack down. Trump easing up the sanction tariff that was added, sanction tariff, whatever you want to call it, of a 10%. So there's been a reduction as they continue to work out the final pieces and parts of this deal. So we did have a bit of a breakthrough with China. It does require we get together in good faith and finish the agreement, though. U.S. simply showed good faith by giving a temporary reduction while we would negotiate. I do like this, though. They did talk at length about nuclear and nuclear power. And we're going to talk about the return to the Cold War 2 point, whatever you guys want to call it. And I want to get you all's thoughts on it. Bounce over here. Senate and GOP and Democrats working on shutdown off-ramp for next week. Some big name Democrats are now pushing for them to go ahead and sign the clean resolution. They only want at this point adding a rider to say that they will have discussions on these things, but not include the legislation in. Just good faith. Will we talk about these issues? Many of them saying, absolutely, let's talk about them. Let's put them up for a vote after we get the clean resolution and then let them stand or fall on their own, which is exactly what the Republicans were pushing for. But now the Democrats have reworded it so that they can save face. Yeah, farmers should be happy. I just hope it is fast enough to save many. Our farmers have been so screwed by this country and so screwed by subsidies. It has created like artificial markets for certain things that should not be there, that make no sense logically. Government, unfortunately, government needs to pull itself out of agriculture, not be a roadblock to agriculture. But now they're so entrenched because of the subsidies, the mass thing, the big farms, controls, etc., that as they do pull themselves out, the market has to correct. So farmers can start growing what people actually want instead of what makes more economic sense for them because of subsidies. It's kind of a mess. It's a great example of how a well-intentioned programs can screw things. But let's get back to this GOP off-ramp. Senator Democrat Thune, Majority Leader, saying, yep, here we go, on Wednesday. Senate Majority Leader John Thune told reporters that moderate Democrats are looking for an off-ramp for the shutdown. He's willing to talk about extending the ACA subsidies after the government is reopened and has even offered them a vote on the proposal to extend the tax credits beyond December. So you now have Democratic Speaker of the House saying, look, folks, to his fellow Democrats, we'll discuss those things. We'll let you vote on them. All those things, just pass this clean bill. I think we are getting close. And now there is a lot of talk that Democrats don't want to do anything until after next Tuesday's elections because there are some key governor races and they want to get a feel. How bad will the American people blame them? Are they blaming them as for the shutdown? What's the public perception? So it appears many in the Democratic Party are willing to go down this road until then, till they see if is it really, really, really hurting us in the polls. Not, hey, are the American people hurting? Or, hey, are the American people doing without services, without food, without paychecks? None of that. No, it's whether or not it hurts them politically or not. So they're willing to drag this a little longer because they want a litmus test next Tuesday of whether it's going to hurt them or not. Doesn't that tell you everything you need to know about the party? They don't give a crap about you. They only care about their election chances. In other words, it doesn't matter what the people want or what the people need. It's all about what puts the most money in their pockets and paychecks. It's kind of sad. Now, here's a sad one. And guys, if you go and follow social media and get outside of your echo box, maybe go over to Blue Sky, you will see so many things like this one. Woman says she will start eating white people if EBT is taken away. It says EBT recipients will build their own nation and grow their own food. Boy, if they would have already done that a long time ago, they wouldn't need the EBT, right? We're going to go eat. We are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you the delectable crackers and cheese. Yep, going to go eat those white people because you crackers and cheese. So I guess it's white people and redheads. Unreal, right? The ignorance is screaming here. Oh, wait. Take EBT away, and then they're going to build their own nation and grow their own food. Has it occurred to anybody if they were growing their own nation? Not meaning this is not a racial comment, guys. I mean, she made a very racial comment. I mean, a downright hateful, racist comment. But I'm not going to rise to that level of hate. But has it not occurred? You're saying, well, if the government stops giving it to us, we're going to go to work and we're still going to eat. If you went to work and grew food, you wouldn't need the government. Seems so like McFly to me. Just bad. Buenos dias, Lalis. Obamacare premium set to soar ahead of open enrollment. I don't know why I put that one in there. We all know that one's about to happen. Premiums for, premiums for state enrollees are rising 17%, while premiums for others are spiking 30%. We have to make a change in our entire medical system and how it functions. That's the moral of the story. We can keep glossing it over. We can keep putting plaster over the cracks, but until we fix the compromised foundation, it's going to stay broken. I don't even know why I put that one in there. Now we're going to get to World War III, though, or the next Cold War, or World War 5.6, or whatever it is right now. Putin invites journalists to watch thousands of trapped Ukrainian troops in encircled zones. This, to me, speaks, how do I put this one? Kind of damning. If this pans out, if it's what they say it is, this is damning for Western journalism. It seems the Kremlin wants to show the world just how bad the situation is for Ukrainian forces along the front lines in the east of the country at a moment Russian infantry troops have already penetrated parts of the city of Pokrovsk. On Wednesday, in live televised remarks, President Putin said that Russia is ready to let journalists into Ukraine's encirclement zone. Speaking from the Central Military Clinical Hospital in Moscow alongside Defense Minister Andrei Belousov, yeah, I totally screwed that one up. Putin declared that in two places, in Kupiansk and Karens, all right. The enemy has been blocked in encirclement. He said of Western journalists, let them see with their own eyes what is going on. This was offered as a pushback against recent reports from Western media and NATO officials who have by and large downplayed or denied recent Russian gains. Also, the Ukrainian government has flatly rejected that the two cities are encircled, saying it's not true. Well, he's saying it is true. And you guys can just come see. We're going to stop all of our advances for a few hours and let you on the front zones. Front war zone, come as close as you want, take your pictures, do your thing, see what the reality is on the ground. Now, why is this important? If Western media is in bed with NATO, other countries, and lying to the people to get them to support war and get politicians to vote a certain way, that's pretty serious. If they're lying to the public, completely lying to the public over the realities of the ground, it means many more people die for their political gain. So this one, if true, is going to be It's going to lift Putin way up in the world's view, and it is going to take Western and NATO leaders and move them way down in the worldview. The population, this is important, what the people think. It's even more important what is reality. So for me, really watching this one at a key time while the whole world is ramping up, Trump directs Pentagon to start testing nuclear weapons again, as we seem to be, for some reason, stepping back into the next Cold War. We have to ask ourselves, is it all manufactured? And then we see the articles like that one. We see many of the articles we have gotten from Israel and Gaza, from Russia and Ukraine, and you have to ask yourself, central casting. But then when I see Trump pushing for some of these things, is he doing this for a reason? Is he trying to expose that, or is he part of central casting? Stepmother's friend Diana's birthday today. So far, guys, I've only noticed Diana's and Sydney's. Tim, it's good to see you. Where you been, man? Propaganda is exactly what it is. Propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. Of course, you know me. I've been suggesting gardens for everybody for a very long time. A very long time. Reading a few of these, looking for more birthday people before I sing. And then we do have Ron Inventor in the background that's going to join us in about 8-9 minutes. Wow, I did not know. Well, actually, I did know that because I know they used to get their license earlier in Florida too. I just didn't know specifically for Texas. Let's see, saying we got our driver's license of 14-year-olds here in Texas back in the late 60s. Karen, I don't think he can legally use tariffs to fund SNAP. I don't know. A lot of those things, guys, you're like, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? Is because of the legal structures we have. Becky, I want a garden too, but I can't find bacon seeds. I think you just take like pork rinds and plant them. Right. Vision Dancer, hubby harvested the butternut squash and prepared it for me to make soup. Oh, you got to enjoy it. I did not see Erica Kirk's speech. Anybody want to tell me about it? Annette 75th, Sissy Jag's birthday. And I saw another one in here. Somebody's yeah, okay, I'm paying attention. Ish. Annette, happy birthday. If your current account is QFS, then where does the currency go? Back, I guess theoretically, you could go into that account if they're all upgrading. But I was told they were going to start a separate one. Like every banking contact has told me that their plan is to set up. I don't know if it's just to make it easier for the KYC and the proof of funds or the clean. What's a word? I forget. Where they can give you a statement that all your funds are good, clean, unencumbered, and legitimate, and you can do what you want with them. I should remember that one, but it's been a while. Somebody will tell me. Yeah, I saw that on the black honey coffee. It's a great one. I just love either the Sumatra or the Ethiopian. My favorites from Freedom Forged. Clean and clear form, Gary. Wait, there you go, Gary. Thank you for doing that. It's my Rusty Ducati's birthday, Rusty D7. I always like Ducati bikes. Ellie, I'm a organic Sumatra girl. Yeah, what are you guys' favorite? Hey, we got a minute. What are you guys' favorite coffees? There's so many things that are important where coffee, do you know where it comes from, how fresh it is? It's better for you if you grind your own as opposed to getting already ground. Provides for fresher coffee. There's so much that goes into it and so many health benefits if you do it and do it right and drink the right kinds. Chef Sumatra. Like Ted, I'm glad you like planting fruit trees. You have to ask yourself, you have to ask yourself on the fruit tree thing, things like that. Why are the city parks not full of fruit trees? I mean, for that matter, if you live near sidewalk or something, why don't you plant some fruit trees? Let some people have some free fruit. That really never occurred to me until the first time as a much younger man, I visited Belize, and driver that was driving us around was saying, nobody starves here. Just go pick something and eat it. It may not be exactly what they want to eat, but there's always going to be a banana, a plantain, a papaya, a panna, something growing. Why don't we do the same thing? I mean, we used to. Every house had fruit trees. Every house had a small garden. Why don't we do the same thing? Then we want to be fighting over whether the government is giving free food or subsidized food. See, why are they not lined with fruit trees? Why do they keep planting flowers on the sides of the roads instead of green beans? Oh, okay. Answer my own question. Oh, geez. Jamaican Blue Mountain. If it's really from Jamaica, could be a few years before that one recovers. Like 5 years if the market doesn't replace the Jamaican beans. Wait, New Jersey couldn't get licensed until 17. The actual wait from permit to license was at least 6 months because of demand. Now it's like 1 year in North Carolina. I was 5 months from being 18 before I had my actual license. Different states. Today's world, people don't mature as quickly. It might make sense to change that rate. Becky, happy heavenliest birthday to her. Let's see, Bone Daddy got a belated birthday to the wife and her twin. See, I love this one. I grow spices, green peppers, apples, tomatoes, ginger, and lots of flowers. Boy, I wish apples would grow down here, but they don't. But I have started growing a lot of my own spices and stuff that they just don't have here, or you got to order and ship in stuff that would grow great, like easy things from like sage for sausage, basil. Just certain things just so difficult to find here fresh, and arguably one of the most fertile areas on the world, in the world. CBD Gurus was having forget what it was, like something 22, but it's on their page. You don't even have to find the cube. Just go to their wholesale page, and in the top of it, they'll tell you if there's any code this week. It's like really easy to find their codes. They never hide their codes over at CBD Gurus. All right, let's get to it. I'm going to sing happy birthday. We're going to turn things over to Ron the Inventor. Oh, wait, I did the modern day version. I saw that one. I meant to talk a little more on this one where they talk about eating white folks crackers and cheese if they don't give them the free EBT. I think it's time for a rewrite of a modest proposal where during the famines in Ireland, they were suggesting that we eat babies. They didn't really mean that. Their point was, come on, folks, stop fighting. Let's come up with some real answers. So it was a great use of satire to waken people up, to awaken them, to get them to open their eyes. Perhaps we should do the same thing for Democrats, globalists, elected officials. We should have a modern day version. I'm not suggesting we actually eat them. I mean, I do realize that they're more like veal. No, they're not young, but they are kept where they don't exercise too much to increase the fat content. You just got to look at Nadler. And many of our politicians, I don't know if you guys have ever paid attention to the congressional floor, but obviously they need more gyms in Capitol Hill. But I know, says the guy in the wheelchair. See, it's kind of fun because they can't pit back. Low hanging fruit there. But I kind of like proposing the idea to get people to think. If they're going to be so useless and not give us any answers, why don't we eat them? I don't mean necessarily eat them. I mean, vote them out and get us some people that can actually get things done. But a modern day version of a modest proposal might be a fun thing to write. I mean, you got to have fun with it or you go crazy. If you don't have a sense of humor and you deal with things like that, you will go crazy. Absolutely nuts. Yes, reminder, no Mr. C tomorrow. Let's do the birthday thing and then drag Ron in here. I think he's almost ready. Sydney, Diana, Sissy, Annette. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love. Make all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Polly Collie, yeah, I know. Having to pick up the rotten fruit because nobody wanted to eat it would be tough. But I think I'd rather deal with that than the alternative of somebody going hungry and without. Kevin, yeah, Pelosi, well, it wasn't really a bar. It was a liquor store, the congressional liquor store that has subsidized liquor for congressional members. I don't care to subsidize their liquor. I really don't. Not at taxpayer expenses. Not at all interested. They can pay for it just like I pay for it. They can go down to the ABC store, the liquor store, wherever, just like anybody else does. Reading a few of these. All right, let's turn it over to him. He is ready to roll. It is the return after many months away of Ron the Inventor.
How you doing, Mark? And yes, we missed you, and you just answered the age-old question for Thanksgiving. What's more popular, white meat or dark meat?
Yeah, right? I mean, you're looking for a leg, a turkey breast. I mean, what part of the turkey you're looking for? Because there's a whole lot of turkeys. There's 535 of them running around on Capitol Hill.
There it is. There it is. Scary right before Thanksgiving. But I want to jump right into it. I know time is valuable for everybody. And I wanted to really drive this home because the holiday season is upon us. So, of course, we have Thin Lizzy behind us to lose weight. But there's so much more. We have the Omni Mat, the #1 mat that's out there today. We're in 138 countries now. And this mat, I know we could say anything. I'm not a doctor. So what we did was we went and got all of the quotes from doctors, scientists, and researchers on the mat. So it's not us making any medical claims, but I'll go through it. We're going to have Garen read it. We rewrote it just for this show.
Ever wake up feeling like you got hit by yesterday? Or wake up good but crash by noon? And doctors say that that's normal for your age. If your body's screaming for a reset, or even if it's whispering, OmniMat rewires from the core. 7 layers, 133 healing stones, jade, tourmaline, amethyst stones, firing far infrared up to 6 inches below the surface of the skin, red photon lights, PEMF pulses, aluminum and copper EMF shields. It doesn't whisper benefits, it detonates them. Far infrared torches inflammation. German University of Stuttgart published blood pressure drops 10 points in 1 session. National Institute of Health, NIH, detoxes heavy metals through sweat, revs liver, kidneys, and white blood cells. Dr. Len Horowitz says it's thermal gold organs humming, immunity locked, red photon, stem cell factory. UCLA, collagen up, wounds heal twice as fast, redness down 30%. Natural Journal, cuts cytokines. By the way, that's what the jab gives you. Arthritis flares gone, tissue regeneration, even in healthy skin, glow inside out. PEMF mimics Earth, and from the Journal of Rehabilitation, crushes joint pain, cartilage repair, healing 6 days faster, back, knees, bone swelling drop. Frontier in Sports, better heart rhythm, circulation to every organ. Mitochondria, UCLA says, red light plus far infrared crank ATP by 30%. Fatigue's gone, you're reborn. And even if you're symptom-free, use it preventatively. And the Buck Institute slows telomeres and can extend them with continuous use, keeping cells young. Swedish trial, 20 minutes daily slashed osteoporosis risk by 60% in healthy folks. Outrun aging. OmniMat fuses ancient stone heat with NASA-grade tech. 1, lie down, pain gone, energy endless, mind clear, body bulletproof. Let science reclaim what time has torn apart with OmniMat, and it starts now.
How awesome. So fast, right to the point. It comes in this case right out of the box. That's not a sticker. It's not silkscreen. It's embroidered. Of course, they come wrapped, sealed in plastic. And they even have a pillow top cover now. We never did that before, which is awesome. This simple mat is that fast and easy. Yes, they're going for thousands of dollars. All these different mats that are out there. But on our site, it's $1,000. But of course, it's never $1,000 on MarkZ's call. So with the simple promo code MAGA, MAGA, it's $500. But we didn't forget, it's Halloween. So on Halloween, we have our candy basket ready for you to give you treats, because whoever orders gets not only $500 off, but we have waves, we have the limitless patches, and we also have, look at that little magnet. This suppresses appetite. It also blocks, if you have food addictions and things, it blocks it. We're gonna throw this in free with your OmniMat. So on rontheinventor.com, you go right to products, OmniMat. On your checkout page, you want to make sure that you put in the promo code, which is MEGA. It's going to save $500 and get you a treat for Halloween. So that's what we got. I don't want to eat up a lot of time. I always feel when people talk a lot, it's because they're trying to sell you, because the product's not really there. This is there. We're here, backed by real science, doctors and researchers. So there it is. Holidays are coming up. What a perfect present, because it helps with so much across the board, including longevity, losing weight, and helps keep you toned and that circulation going throughout your body. So there it is, the OmniMat. And that's what we wanted to get out there today.
Whoa, but you got more time if you want it.
Awesome, because we also have a new bed coming out. I'm not saying it's a med bed. Many people have called it, but now, and we're getting ready to release in California, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. They're going to be out there. Commercial bed that we call Genesis. I added it to the website already. Genesis is absolutely out of this world. If you think, like the other ones that are out there, no, nothing is out there. But it's not going to make you taller or shorter. It's not going to grow your hair, although it does. This will fix the organs from the inside out. We like to call it a wellness bed for many, many reasons that are out there. Again, not a doctor, but the Genesis Bio Regeneration Pod looks amazing. It's a cut of the future because it's straight from the future for people that have all kinds of ailments to feel better, to lose weight, to build muscle, get rid of brain fog. What about so many different diseases that are out there? And we know some of the diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes is also MS. These are all floating in the same category. And this is the technology, again, backed by science to eliminate. And I'm not talking in one session because it does have a 20-minute window on it for a session. I'm not saying in one session it's going to be gone. What I'm saying is even thing that works with the mitochondria in the body, it extends the telomeres. It's unbelievable what Genesis Bed does. If you want to read up, I got a little blurb on the website on Genesis, the bioregeneration pod, and also for the people, because they are up there, they're $25,000 for it, but a lot of people want them because they want them for their communities to put them out. Church groups, things like that are putting them out. Spas, wellness centers, and we already have a few, and we're going to be putting out how you could book your appointment. California is set right now. I think they start at the end of January. I'm going to double check with that, but I will post it on the site where you can set your appointment to get on to Genesis. And here's the best part. It's free. Your first time on is free. Why are we making it free? To make it easy for everybody, number one. Number two, when you have a good product, you can put it out there because you know you got a service that don't work. Nobody's coming back. Nobody's referring. So for the very first time for everybody, it will be a free session. You're going to feel the difference. You're going to see the difference. I didn't want to go too deep into it right now because we're finalizing some of the last parts of it. But God, there's so much exciting things going on. And also, probably the end of January, waiting for the holidays to pass, we're probably going to have our little get together out here so that people will actually be able to come here, try the Genesis for themselves. We will have the OmniMat here also. Let's not forget the car cycle, where people will be able to come see the car cycle. You've heard about it for a long time. You'll be able to test drive the car cycle too. Don't worry. And we have a couple more surprises for that event. So check on rontheinventor.com. We are going to keep posting these times and events that are happening, and you don't want to miss them because you're missing the future.
All right, that was impressive.
Oh, it's so much fun. I love doing this. Absolutely love doing it. And then to release it.
All right, did you say where in California?
It's going to be in the Pasadena area.
Okay.
We're putting 2 of them up. Excuse me.
Oh,
A
bless you.
lot of particles from the fireplace.
Yeah, salute. Yeah, I was looking at the coming soon section. It looks like you have been busy with a lot of different things from
Yes.
things to help teeth, regrowing, I guess, enamel and stuff, or maybe even the whole tooth.
The whole tooth. And the breeze. That is amazing. The same power it takes to power your cell phone, you could heat or cool your home. And that's what that does. It'll do 1,200 square feet on heat or cooling, has a little remote control for it. And if you're on separate floors or maybe a separate building, we make small little satellites that you could plug into a regular outlet and it will work like a Wi-Fi extender. It transmits the frequency, and that's what I'm all about, frequencies, light, vibration, and sound. And this is working the same way by speeding up some of the particles, the molecules that are in the air. You speed them up, creates more friction, warms the air without having a heating coil and big fans or cooling the air. Slow it down, cools the air. So it's absolutely awesome. Some of the things that are coming out that are so, I mean, literally with a little battery bank, you could probably keep the thing going for 8 to 10 hours, you know, because it takes hardly no power. And that's the secret of the game today. As electricity and oils keep going up, we keep combating things to get them way back down. People could be comfortable in their own homes. We don't want seniors having heat stroke or freezing to death anymore. So we hear all of the problems that people talk about, and we try to think of ways to solve them.
No, I think that's just great. I was, of course, this one was screaming at me for like around town, get here, get there. It's like, ooh, I could just like
Electric glide.
wheelchair beside it, sit on the seat.
That's
Yeah,
it's
like,
amazing. It comes with the headlights, tail lights, and the blinkers. It's got the big knobby tires for off-road with ridiculous suspension. I'm talking about if branches fell in front of you from a tree, you will go right up and over them. So it's awesome for the seniors. It's a lot of fun for the kids going off-road on a much tighter vehicle with great suspension. And it's fully electric. Again, you can get 250 miles on a charge with that. And it could also be used as a small battery bank.
If you're looking for a website, guys, rontheinventor.com is the one you're going to want to use. rontheinventor.com. None of the other ones are going to reach them. So if you're looking for them, use that one, rontheinventor.com.
Excellent.
All right. I guess it's time for me to get to the day job, whether I want to or not.
Same here. Mark, thank you so much. Always appreciate the time. And remember, the code is MAGA, M-A-G-A. You're going to save $500, 50%. Christmas is coming up. Don't forget to get your treat, too. We're throwing it in every single order. Thanks, Mark.
Nice.
Always appreciate the time.
You're welcome. Everybody else, take care. See you this evening at 7 with Dr. Scott Young. Take care, folks.